race fans, to another edition of American Dirt Track Racing. This afternoon, we're here at the very windy Williamsgrove Speedway for their second race of the 1988 season. I'll go down over the starting lineup for heat race number 1. On the pole will be the number 86. This is the ICP Crown machine of Bobby Landis. And alongside him in car number 66 will be Roger Fickett. Making up row number 2 in the number 15S will be Greg Plank, and alongside him is the number 36 of Rod Ort. Starting in that 5th spot in car number 7E will be Darren Aish out of Woodbine, Maryland, and alongside him in the Michael Barshinger, number 65, will be Johnny Mackison Jr. Starting in that 7th spot in car number 17 will be Dave Kelly, and alongside him in that 8th starting position in car number 880 out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, will be Keith Kaufman. Back in row number 5 on the inside in that 9th starting position in car number 16 will be Bobby Weaver, and right beside him in car number 88, this is the Carl Hars machine driver Kenny Adams. Making up the final row of the very first heat this afternoon in car number 29, a different driver this week, young Freddie Raymer at the helm, and alongside him in car number 4W will be Don Wente. Those are your starters for the first heat here this afternoon at the second race of the 1988 season here at Williamsgrove, and we'll be back with the waving of the green flag. Okay, we're back here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for the green flag in heat race number 1. We'll watch them up in turns 3 and 4. Starter Butch Book waves the green flag, and we're underway. Bobby Landis brings them down the front stretch. A lot of scrambling around in the middle of the field. Everybody trying to work their way to the front. Remember, the faster cars are on the rear. At least the cars that finished well last week are starting on the tail end of these heat races, so a lot of horsepower coming from the back. Landis with the lead and running away from the field now as they come down the front stretch. Keith Kaufman trying to work his way to the front in that Roy Morrill number 880, challenging the number 29 of Freddie Raymer. Raymer in the Weichert livestock machine this afternoon. Off turn 4, once again, it's Bobby Landis out of McAllisterville, Pennsylvania, your leader. Kaufman and Raymer really going at it in the back of this pack, trying to close it off on the number 88 of Kenny Adams. Darren Esch runs in that second spot in the E&G Classics number 7. Bobby Weaver runs third, and Johnny Mackison Jr. rides in the 4th spot as they come to the wire. Landis with a comfortable lead in that ICP number 86 car. Last week came to the Grove and had oil pressure problems. Didn't get to start the feature event. That put him on the pole this afternoon of today's first heat, and he's running away from the field at this point. Darren Esch rides second, Bobby Weaver third, Johnny Mackison 4th, Dave Kelly 5th, and Kenny Adams rides 6th. Your final qualifier. So far, the number 29 and the number 880 cars have not qualified in this heat race. Let's see what happens. They come to the halfway sign. It's still Bobby Landis with a straightaway lead over Darren Esch. Michael Wente in the number 4W dropping off the pace. The battle rages on right there on your screen between the 88 of Kenny Adams and the 29 of Freddie Raymer. Landis continues to dominate the first heat. Darren Esch and Kaufman spins up in turns 3 and 4. And he gets tapped a little bit as he has come to a stop up in turn number 4. Tough break for Kaufman. That'll close up the gap between our front runners, Landis, Darren Esch, and Bobby Weaver. Tough break for Kaufman. Could have had a flat tire, something break on the race car up there, brought him to an abrupt stop, and we'll be back with the restart. We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for the continuation in this, the first qualifying heat race. Remember, 4 cars go to the front of the feature event, but 6 will qualify. Bobby Landis with the lead and the green flag as they come down the front stretch. Freddie Raymer moving past Dave Kelly in the number 17 car. Raymer finally getting that. Whoa, and Kaufman nearly upset the number 880 in turns 1 and 2. He brings it back down on all 4 wheels. Camera swings around. We'll pick up your leader, Bobby Landis, in the ICP number 86, your leader. Darren Esch runs second, Bobby Weaver third, Johnny Magnuson fourth, and then it's Freddie Raymer in that number 29. Kelly and Adams go wheel to wheel off turn number 2. We'll pick them up off turn 4 now. Your leader, Bobby Landis, continues to dominate with 2 laps to go now. Landis slipping by a lap car over on turn number 2. He has actually run off from Darren Esch again, so Landis seems to be the paragon of the field here in this first heat race. They'll be looking for the white flag this time from starter Butch Book as they come to the stripe. Esch continues to run second, Bobby Weaver third, Freddie Raymer fourth, and Johnny Magnuson now fifth, and he's got pressure from Kenny Adams. Landis en route to his first win here of the season at Williamsgrove in this heat race. Checkered flag in the hand of Butch Book. There it is. Landis will pick up the win. Darren Esch will take second. Bobby Weaver will finish third. Freddie Raymer with the hood messed up on the number 29 will finish in that 4th spot. Johnny Magnuson will take the 5th spot, and Kenny Adams will be your 6th and final qualifier. So a nice job turned in by Bobby Landis in the ICP number 86 machine out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania. Landis, of course, hailing out of McAllisterville, going away here with an impressive first heat victory. We'll be back with more racing action from the Williamsgrove Speedway. We're back here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for heat race number 2. I'll get down over the starting lineup on the pole. In car number 11 will be Todd Schaefer, and alongside him in car number 12 will be Steve Stanball. Starting third in the number 33, making the switch to sprint cars this year, will be Ray Swinehart. And starting alongside him in the number 69, this is the Van May machine, sponsored by Sterner Cement, Chuck Reinert. Starting in that 5th spot in the number 66A will be Bobby Fletcher, and starting 6th in the number 99 will be Jerry Stone. Starting in that 7th spot will be the number 3 of Chuck Ward, and starting 8th in car number 14 will be Barry Camp. Starting in that 9th spot in car number 2 will be Steve Sigel, and alongside him in the 10th position will be the 7C of Joey Allen. Starting 11th in car number 9, last week's 2nd place finisher will be Joey Gravino, and bringing up the rear of heat race number 2 in that 12th spot in car number 43 will be Larry Shive. So 12 cars all present and accounted for on the Speedway as they take form behind the K&H pace car. We'll be back with the waving of the green flag. We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for heat race number 2 in this cold and blustery afternoon. We're going to watch them up in turns 3 and 4. Todd Schaefer and Steve Stanball setting the pace. The K&H pace car pulls to the infield. Schaefer jumps on the gas, and we're under green. We'll watch them off turn 4. It's a mad scramble as they head down the run stretch. Steve Stanball trying to challenge back on the inside, and Schaefer evidently breaks something and drops off the pace in turn number 2. Stanball sails on to the lead. We're going to have, though, an original restart, of course, without Todd Schaefer on the front row. Yellow flag coming out right now. The field slows down here on the front stretch, and we'll be back with take 2 in this second heat. We're back here at Williamsgrove for take 2 in this second heat event. We'll watch them up in turns 3 and 4 now. The green flag waves, and we're underway. It's going to be Steve Stanball as they come down the front stretch. Jerry Stone and Chuck Reinert battling wheel to wheel for that second spot, but Jerry Stone comes out on top. Everybody chasing Steve Stanball, your leader, as they head through turns 3 and 4. Stanball sounds strong in that Apple Chevrolet number 12. Joey Allen in the number 7C trying to work his way to the front, currently riding in that 4th spot. We've got another yellow. As we scan the speedway, I believe we evidently have debris somewhere on the racetrack. Haven't been able to pick up actually a car setting anywhere, so we'll take a short little break and be back with the resumption. We're back here at the Williamsgrove Speedway with the green flag waving, and Steve Stanball, your leader. Jerry Stone rides in that second spot. Barry Camp rides third. Then it's Joey Allen and Steve Sigel battling for the fourth position right now. Remember, that's the final transfer spot. Right now, it's all Steve Stanball in the Apple Chevrolet number 12 as they come off turn 4 to complete lap number 2. Looks like trouble in the number 99 machine off turn 2, but he does bring it back down off the top side of the speedway. Barry Camp getting a little loose also in that third spot. He's got Joey Allen all over him as they come down the front stretch. Oh, and Stanball hits the fence in turns 1 and 2. And he gets upside down. A tough break for Steve Stanball in the Apple Chevrolet number 12. He was riding in the lead. Evidently hooked a rudder. Something happened to that number 12 car. He got into the fence pretty hard and bounced around, flipped the car over. A complete revolution, landed on its wheels. But Steve already out of the race car. He looks like he's okay, but the car suffering some pretty heavy damage over there, and that'll shut us down here momentarily until they remove the number 12 car, and we'll be back with the restart. We're back here at the Williamsgrove Speedway, the pace car leaving the track. As you can see there, the flag standing straight out here today at Williamsgrove. Probably 35, 40 mile an hour winds. And we get the green flag. Jerry Stone in the number 99 with the lead as they come off turn number 2. Barry Camp rides in that second spot. Then it's Joey Allen in the number 7C. Followed by Steve Sigel in that final transfer spot. Off turn 4, Camp gets a little bit wide. And Joey Allen closes it up. Allen in that Chubb number 7C rides in third. Sigel fourth. Chuck Ward runs fifth right now, and Joey Gravino all the way back in that sixth and final qualifying spot. It's a battle now between Joey Allen and Barry Camp as they come off turn number 4. Camp with the groove. Allen fishtailing down the front stretch. Jerry Stone continues to lead in that number 99, the Bud Lawrence machine. Allen trying to reel in Barry Camp as they head to turns 3 and 4. Allen once again takes a look on the inside, gets a little too low that time, and Camp scoots away from him as they come down the front stretch. Sigel all alone in that fourth spot. Chuck Ward getting a little bit of a challenge in fifth from Joey Gravino. And now smoke coming out the back of the 14 as he drops off the pace. Barry Camp with a lot of smoke coming out of the back of that car. He missed the pit entrance, and he'll come to a stop on the speedway and bring out the yellow. Tough break for the Beavertown veteran Barry Camp, dropping out, running third at the time. And he will go to the consolation event. Hopefully he'll be able to make the repairs on that machine. We'll be back with yet another restart. We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway. The wind still gusting here. Chuck Ward had to duck into the pit area for a little bit of fuel. Evidently they forgot to fill the car up with fuel before he went out for this heat race. Either that or he has a leak somewhere. You would think he would have enough fuel for a heat. Barry Camp in the pits. Chuck Ward on the tail end of the field as the green flag waves. Jerry Stone, your leader. Joey Allen makes a move and slides up into that second spot. Steve Sigel rides third. Joey Gravino now running fourth and in a transfer position due to attrition. Coming around with 2 to go this time. On your leader, Jerry Stone. 8 laps complete. 2 to go. Bobby Fletcher rides in that fifth spot right now. Chuck Ward back up to sixth. Ward trying to get by Fletcher. He'll have to get Fletcher and Gravino to get a transfer spot. He gets Fletcher. White flag now in the hand of Butch Book, our flagman, as Jerry Stone brings the Lawrence Service Center number 99 into turns 1 and 2. Joey Allen rides in that second spot. Steve Sigel still runs third, and Gravino fourth with another yellow for Larry Shive up in turn 4. Shive gets it in against the hub rail, pointed the wrong direction, brings out another yellow, and we'll be back with another restart with 1 lap to go. Back in here one more time at the Williamsgrove Speedway with Jerry Stone, your leader. Joey Allen rides second, then it's Steve Sigel, followed by Joey Gravino. We get green flag off turn 4. Chuck Ward trying to come from the tail end of the field. Gravino now closes in on Steve Sigel and goes by easily as Gravino will now hold down that third spot with the checkered flag waving for Jerry Stone. He'll pick up the win. Joey Allen will take second. Gravino will take third. Bobby Fletcher will take fourth, followed by Chuck Ward in fifth, and Steve Sigel slowing down takes the sixth and final qualifying spot. So heat race number 2 now in the record books, and we'll be back with heat race number 3. Back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for heat race number 3. I'll go down over the starting lineup. Starting on the pole in car number 119 will be Steve Smith, and alongside him in the number 2D will be Lance DeWeese. Starting in that third spot in number 140, Rookie of the Year here last year at Williamsgrove will be Jeff Shepard, and alongside him another aspiring young driver in the number 18D, Tim Dietz. Starting in that fifth spot will be the number 461 of Paul Latier, and right beside him in the number 77 will be Frankie Kerr. Starting in that seventh spot in the number K1 will be Darrell Gone, and alongside him in the number 19 will be Stevie Smith. Starting in that ninth spot in car number 28S will be Dan Dietrich, winner at the Port Royal Speedway on Friday night. And starting in that 10th spot, reigning track champion here at Williamsgrove, Jim Nace in the Camel Express car. Making up the final row and starting in that 11th spot in car number 30, another young rookie, Darrell Steimling, and starting in that 12th spot, all the way from Ohio, in car number 7 will be Michael Latch. Michael Latch making up the tail end of this field. Field up in turns 3 and 4 right now, and we'll be getting set to go here for the final heat race of the afternoon. We'll be back with the waving of the green flag. Back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for the third and final heat race of the afternoon. We'll pick up our last 6 qualifiers. On the pole is Steve Smith Sr. and Lance DeWeese. We'll watch them and see who gets out of the box first. On the waving of the green flag, there it is. Off turn number 4, it's going to be Steve Smith, Lance DeWeese, and Tim Dietz. Stevie Smith makes a charge from the middle of the field and slides into that 4th spot as they come off turn number 2. Good battle there between Paul Latier and the number 77 of Frankie Kerr. But up front, it's all Steve Smith as they charge off turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Lance DeWeese rides second. Tim Dietz showing a lot of muscle here, rides in that 3rd spot ahead of Stevie Smith. They head down the backstretch. Stevie Smith now looking on the inside of Tim Dietz up in turns 3 and 4, but Dietz keeps the door shut. Off turn 4, it's still Stevie Smith chasing Tim Dietz. Paul Latier has moved into the picture now in that Walter Dyer number 461 as Frankie Kerr has dropped off the pace in the Bob Fetter Ford-powered machine. Steve Smith Sr. with a big lead as they come off turn number 4. Lance DeWeese rides in that 2nd spot. There's your side-by-side battle for 3rd. Paul Latier trying to work his way by Tim Dietz in that number 18D. We'll swing it around now up in turns 3 and 4. It's still the number 119 of Steve Smith Sr. Yellow flag on the speedway. And it looks like it's for the 77 up in turn 3. That's the Bob Fetter Ford-powered car driven by Frankie Kerr. We saw him slow down on the front stretch the last time by. Looked like he just didn't have quite enough momentum to make it into the pit area. We'll be back with the restart. Well, the Bob Fetter Ford being pushed into the pit area right now. Tough break for Frankie Kerr. We'll be watching Steve Smith Sr., your leader, in the number 119. That's the Swope salvage machine. Lance DeWeese rides in that 2nd spot. Here they come. Green flag waves. And we'll watch them as they head into turns 1 and 2. Paul Latier way up in the loose stuff. Latier nearly scraping the fence. He loses a position to Jim Nace and the Camel Express number 26, so that didn't work very well. We'll watch them as they come off turn 4 now. Steve Smith still your leader. Lance DeWeese still rides second, and then it's Stevie Smith Jr. So the Smith family right now occupying 2 of the top 3 spots now. And Stevie Smith Jr. going for that second position as they come off turn number 4. But Lance DeWeese tenaciously hangs on to that second spot. Here comes your side-by-side battle. Jim Nace and Paul Latier, they're right in behind Tim Dietz. Dietz, though, showing a lot of poise, hangs right in there and maintains that 4th position as they head down the backstretch. Off turn 4, one more time, it's Steve Smith Sr., Lance DeWeese, and Stevie Jr. Look at that side-by-side battle between Paul Latier and Jim Nace. And Jeff Shepard gets turned the wrong direction up in turn number 4, and he'll bring out yet another yellow flag. Tough break for the rookie out of Upper Cove, Maryland, Jeff Shepard. We'll be back with the restart. Back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for the resumption of this 3rd and final heat race. The Smith family at the front of this field with Lance DeWeese riding in that 2nd spot right now. Let's see what happens. The green flag waves off turn number 4. It's Steve Smith picking up where he left off. Jim Nace trying to work his way by the number 18 of Tim Dietz as they come off turn number 2 and head down the backstretch right now. Nace on the inside, looks like he may have the line this time. Let's see as they come off turn number 4. It's still Steve Smith, Lance DeWeese, Stevie Smith, and the number 18 of Tim Dietz. And Tim hits a rut a little bit, and Nace pulls right up along the inside. Lance DeWeese trying to get out of the way. DeWeese falls off the pace in the middle of the backstretch. Gets his car to the inside of the speedway. Lots of action off turn 4 now. Nace moves up. Paul Latier moves up. Right now it's Steve Smith Sr. and Stevie Smith Jr. with the front 2 spots with the white flag waving this time. Jim Nace rides 3rd, Paul Latier 4th, Tim Dietz 5th. Doesn't look like Stevie Jr. is going to have enough time to catch his father in that number 119 as they head to turn 3. Checkered flag being unfurled now by starter Butch Buck. We'll watch them as they come off turn 4. Your winner's going to be Steve Smith Sr. Stevie Jr. will take 2nd. Jim Nace will finish 3rd. Paul Latier will take the 4th spot. Danny Dietrich will finish 5th. And finishing 6th in that final qualifying position will be Tim Dietz in the number 18. Darrell Gone, Jeff Shepard, and of course the number 7 car of Mike Latch will round out the field. And we'll be back with more racing action here from the Williamsgrove Speedway. We're back here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for the B main event. These are all the non-qualifiers that didn't make it in the heat race. I'll go down over the starting lineup. On the pole in car number 17 will be Dave Kelly. And alongside him in the number 43 will be Larry Shive. Starting in that 3rd spot, in the number K1 will be Darrell Gone. And right beside him in that 4th position, in the number will be Rod Ort. Starting 5th in the number 33L will be Ray Schweinhart. And alongside him in the number 2X will be Hal Wilson. Starting in that 7th spot, in the number 880 will be Keith Kaufman. And alongside him, the number 14 will be the veteran Barry Camp. Starting in that 9th spot, in the number 140 is Jeff Shepard. And right beside him in that 10th position will be the number 66 of Roger Fickett. Starting in that 11th spot, in the number 12 will be Steve Stanball. And right beside him in the number 7 car, starting 12th will be Michael Latch. Starting 13th in the number 15S will be Greg Plank. And alongside him in the number 69 will be Chuck Reinhardt. Starting in that 15th spot, in the number 2D will be Lance DeWeese, and right beside him, the number 4W will be Don Wente. Starting in that 17th spot, scheduled to start 17th, and the number 11 will be Todd Schaefer, who is in the pit area and out of action for this afternoon. Starting in that 18th spot will be the number 77 of Frankie Kerr, and bringing up the rear, starting 19th, will be the number 30 of Darrell Steimling. And joining us here at Williamsgrove Speedway, just arriving up from the pit area, my friend and fellow commentator, Ken Stahl. And we'll get Ken on here. Welcome aboard, Ken.
Well, it's good to be up here, John. A lot of things happening in those heat races. Wild crash with Steve Stambaugh in the Apple Chevrolet number 12, getting upside down. Tough break for Steve while leading that heat race. I think something most likely broke on that car when he did get upside down. So Stambaugh missing from this Consolation B-Main event. Also missing from the B-Main, Todd Schaefer, who had motor problems with his car on the first lap.
Yeah, tough break. That'll make Schaefer a spectator here for the rest of the afternoon. Right now we have a full field of starters for this B-Main event. Last chance to make it in to today's feature event.
Good field of cars again here this afternoon at the Grove. A little bit down from last week. Of course, some of the drivers have gone now with the World of Outlaws, and I think we got around 37 cars here. Still a strong field for a Sunday afternoon program.
It's never easy at the Grove, that's for sure. Wind still gusting here about 35, 40 miles per hour as we are located high atop of the press box here at Williamsgrove, and the flags are standing straight out today, Ken.
That's for sure. One driver in this race that had a lot of problems in the heat race was Keith Kaufman in the Hardee's number 880. Keith, 2 yellow flags I think he brought out there. Just a lot of trouble in the heat race.
Oh, when you were down in the pit area, did you get a chance to talk to any of the drivers, Ken, or get any information as to what had happened to some of these cars that we don't see out here in the B-Main?
Well, as we said, Todd Schaefer experienced motor problems. They've had a lot of early season woes with the number 11. Steve Stambaugh did a lot of damage to the number 12. Nothing real serious to the frame, but some damage done to the number 12, and he's done for the day. And just some of the other drivers with minor problems. Lance DeWeese, he's back out there, I believe, ready to go in this B-Main. He had some problems with his car in a heat race, and Kaufman, his car just wasn't handling it all out there. We talked to Bob Landis, and he's confident going into the feature this afternoon.
Hey, won that first heat impressively, I must say. Just actually run off from the field 2 different times. I thought when they had to restart there that they would be able to stick with him, but he actually dominated that heat, and he's on the pole of today's feature event, so he has a golden opportunity here.
Well, that means a lot. So far this season, the winners are coming from that position or outside front row, so you gotta like Bob's chances, and right now the green's waving, so we're gonna pick up the green flag for the B-Main.
Well, a mad scramble as they head into turns 1 and 2. Keith Kaufman trying to work his way up the inside into a qualifying spot. He's got a long way to go. We got a couple of stragglers on the tail end of the field right now, and we may get a yellow. We'll have to wait and see. Off turn number 4, your leader is going to be Dave Kelly out of Macungie, Pennsylvania.
Kelly at the front of the pack. I think we had about 4 cars out there, John, that just took the green flag in this B-Main to pick up their extra money. You get paid money to start this race. Instead of going home with tow money, they go home with $100.
Well, Jeff Shepard and Lance DeWeese being 2 of those drivers. Darrell Steimling stayed out there. We pick up the field off turn number 4. It's still Dave Kelly, your leader, followed by Darrell Gone and Larry Shive.
Rod Ort right now runs 4th ahead of Keith Kaufman. Kaufman continuing to struggle here this afternoon at Williamsgrove. Now he moves ahead of Rod Ort and into that 4th spot on the Speedway. Only 6 of these drivers make it into this afternoon's A-Main, and right now it looks like Dave Kelly has the handle in the situation as he comes off the 4th turn.
Right there you see Larry Shive on your screen. Larry doing a real good job here in the B-Main right now. And he gets a little out of shape in turn number 2. It allows Kaufman to move in a little bit as they head down the backstretch. I believe Shive might be getting a flat tire or something going amiss on the number 43.
Right now Larry is 3rd. Another driver working his way up through the pack is the number 77, the better Ford-powered car of Frankie Kerr. They dropped out of the heat race while in a qualifying spot. Now he's really got his work cut out for him.
A whole cluster of cars right there on your screen as they come off turn number 2. These people are battling for those 6th, 7th, and 8th positions. Camera swings around now. We'll be picking up your 3rd place man, Larry Shive, and Keith Kaufman as they head into turns 1 and 2.
Kaufman still trying to move up, and we got a battle for the lead now on the backstretch. And it looks like Frankie Kerr has more problems with the 77. He's now out of it as he drops out. But we got a good race for the lead as Darrell Gone tries to go outside Dave Kelly.
And Darrell Gone nearly hits the fourth turn fence. That's about as close as you want to come. And he brings that car back into the center of the speedway, Ken.
I honestly don't know how he even saved it. He got very close. The car looked like it was going to turn right into the wall, but he somehow straightened it out and got away. And Kelly also got away a little bit now as he's got a comfortable lead off the fourth turn.
There comes Dave Kelly to complete lap number 8 now. Make that lap number 7. Right there you see Larry Shive as he continues to ride in that third spot, but Kaufman is now putting the pressure on.
Well, Kaufman, ever since that first win in Florida, really hasn't been a factor in any feature event up until this point. He's still looking for his first Central Pennsylvania win, and he hasn't won since the first race in Florida.
2 laps to go now on Dave Kelly, your leader. Darrell Gone continues to run second. Kaufman has moved up to third now. Larry Shive runs fourth. Rod Ort runs in that fifth spot.
And it looks like your final qualifier on the Speedway is former modified driver Ray Schweinhardt. Schweinhardt has that sixth and final qualifying spot as the field again works their way off turn 4 with 1 to go.
1 lap to go on your leader, Dave Kelly. Darrell Gone running about 5 car lengths behind in that second spot. Keith Kaufman has moved up on your 2 front runners now as they come off turn number 2.
Kaufman has really closed it up, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to even move up 1 spot because Dave Kelly's right now working on the checkered flag. But Kaufman comes outside of Gone off the 4th turn, and he is going to get that second spot. So the last lap charge by Keith Kaufman gets him second. Kaufman
never say die, that's for sure. He never gives up, Ken. He can be battling for that next to last position, and Keith Kaufman will give you 110% all the way around.
He got strong there as that race went on. He'll finish second, but Dave Kelly gets the win. Darrell Gone qualifies in the 3rd spot. 4th was Larry Shive, Rod Ort 5th, and your final qualifier, Ray Schweinhardt.
So we have a complete field now for our A main feature event, which will be up next. Bobby Landis on the pole. Right alongside him, Stevie Smith Jr. Or make that, I guess, Steve Smith, checking our lineup sheet right here.
Yeah, Steve Smith also a heat winner here today, so they'll go into turn 1, and I'm sure that'll mean a lot. Bobby Landis and Steve Smith will go for the lead, and who knows, it may be a green to checkered lead.
So a lot of people seem to believe that these races are won on the first lap. We saw it last night. The pole setter jumps out in front, leads the entire race pretty much. They did have a battle at Williamsgrove last night for the feature win. Of course, Freddie Raymer coming up with his second of the 1988 season.
And if anybody's going to come from the middle or the back of the pack, you'd think Freddie Raymer would be a good candidate today, driving the Weicker 29. He looks strong in the heat race. He got into one of the 4 handicap positions, so he won't be too far back in the feature lineup, starting 11th, just about in the middle, but he did make the 4 handicap spots, and that was important.
And we'll be back with the A feature event here at the Williamsgrove Speedway, the second race of the 1988 season. We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for this afternoon's main event. We've got 24 starters on the track, and we'll go down over the starting lineup. On the pole in the ICP, number 86 out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania, the driver hailing from McAllisterville, Bobby Landis. Alongside him in the number 119, the slope salvage machine will be Steve Smith, the veteran.
Row 2 inside, starting 3rd in the metal refinishing E&G Classics. Number 70, the driver Darren Aish, and starting 4th on the outside of row number 2 in his father's number 66A, the driver Bobby Fletcher.
Starting in that 5th spot in the Walter Dyer number 461 will be Port Royal track champion Paul Latier, and alongside him in car number 99 will be Jerry Stone in the Bud Lawrence Service Center machine.
One of the hot drivers in the early season, the Libby's Mobile Homes, Creasy Signs, number 19, the driver Stevie Smith starts 7th, and outside of row number 4, starting 8th in the Bill Bryan, number 16, the driver from Hallam, Pennsylvania, Bobby Weaver.
Starting in that 9th spot, the young aspiring driver Joey Allen out of Hanover, Pennsylvania, in the Chubb number 7C, and alongside him in the Camel Express number 26 will be track champion here at Williamsgrove Gymnase.
Starting in row number 6 on the inside, 11th starting spot, the winner last night at the Williamsgrove Speedway, and the winning car last Sunday here at Williamsgrove, the Weichert's number 29, the driver Freddie Raymer. And starting 12th on the outside of row 6, he finished second here last Sunday afternoon in the Polaris, number 9 from Harrisburg, Joey Gravino.
Starting in that 13th starting spot in the Michael Barshinger number 65 will be Johnny Mackison Jr., a second-generation driver, and alongside him in the Busch Beer number 2 will be Steve Sigel.
The winner Friday night at the Port Royal Fairgrounds starts in the inside of row number 8, 15th spot, the 28. That's the George's Auto Sale car, the driver Dan Dietrich. And starting 16th in the Carl Harris Furniture, number 88, the driver Kenny Adams.
Starting in that 17th starting spot in the Jasper Petite number 3 will be Chuck Ward, and alongside him in the 18D will be Tim Dietz, another one of the improving young rookie drivers on the circuit.
Row 10 inside, starting 19th, the winner of the consolation event here this afternoon in the Kelly Racing Fuels number 17, the driver Dave Kelly. And starting 20th on the outside of row number 10, the Hardys, Roy Marl number 880 from Mifflintown, Keith Kaufman.
Starting in that 21st starting spot in the Toll House Restaurants number K1 will be Darrell Gone, and alongside him in car number 43, also coming from the consolation event, will be Larry Shive.
And your final 2 starters in the event, the National Parts Peddler number 36 from Mechanicsburg, Rod Ort, and starting scratch, making his first sprint car feature event, the 33L from Biglerville, Pennsylvania, former modified driver Ray Swinehart.
There you have it, 24 of the best in Central Pennsylvania on the Speedway with Bobby Landis and Steve Smith setting the pace. Landis, who had just come into his own last year, picked up 2 feature wins at the Port Royal Speedway and 1 here at Williamsgrove, lined up against probably one of the winningest sprint car drivers in Central Pennsylvania, Steve Smith Sr.
Looks like Chuck Ward in car 3 is going to take the green and pit here this afternoon. He's been having problems keeping that car in gear, and he has dropped to the back, and he may take the green and pit. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, we're going to watch them as they work their way through turn 3 and out of turn 4. Landis and Steve Smith bring the field down.
Side by side in that first and second turn, Steve Smith Sr. with the early lead. But here comes Landis on the high groove and jumps out in front in that ICP number 86.
Bob Landis from McAllisterville leads him into turn 3 and out of turn 4.
Landis in that ICP 86 car, still your leader as they come off turn 4. He's actually beginning to drive away from Steve Smith just a little bit.
Top 3 right there in a group. Steve Smith runs second. Darren H is third. Paul Lotier has worked the Walt Dyer car into 4th, and he's going for 3rd, and he's got it on the backstretch.
Paul Lotier looks mighty fast in that number 461 car. He's quickly moved up into that 3rd spot, but here comes your leader, Bobby Landis.
As the field starts to string out, passing is going to get it to be a lot tougher here this afternoon. Landis taking the perfect line around the Speedway, and he's just streaking away from Steve Smith.
Landis looks super quick in the heat race as Kaufman nearly upset the 880 again down in turns 1 and 2. He's way in the back of this field as we come off turn 4 now with your leader, Bobby Landis.
Bobby Landis getting a super ride early on here this afternoon. Right now with the number 1 spot, Steve Smith and Paul Lotier up above the lift in turn number 1 and 2. Trying to angle that car down the backstretch, but it's not working right now as he's just dropping back further away from Steve Smith.
I'll tell you what, Ken, you can go from the front of this field all the way to the back and find feature-winning cars. Star-studded all the way. Landis continues to lead Steve Smith Sr. through turns 1 and 2.
I think the driver to beat in this race, and it's not Bob Landis, is going to be Stevie Smith in the number 19. He's already 4th. Stevie started 7th, so he's picked up a couple of spots, and he's closing on Darren H for the 4th spot.
Landis continues to look solid in that ICP number 86 as they come down the front stretch. Getting a look at the rest of the field. There's Stevie Smith Jr. You mentioned him, Ken. He is on the move.
Stevie has closed right behind Darren H. Right behind him is Jerry Stone in the Lawrence Service Center, number 99. And we've got your leader right now working his way off of turn 4. It's still Bob Landis.
Landis just come up with this ride at the beginning of the 1988 season. He had been campaigning his own number 88 last year, and he looks real sharp here so far. Nobody's been able to close it up on him, Ken.
And a good thing for Bob right now, the field is still pretty well strung out, and they haven't really caught the back of the pack, and Keith Kaufman, I think, is going to quit for the afternoon in the 880. He's slowing on the backstretch.
The rest of the field comes streaking off turn number 4. This is the back of the field now we're looking at. Kaufman heads to the pit area. will be picking up your leader, Bobby Landis, between turns 3 and 4.
And the lead cars are really starting to bunch again. Your top 6 are almost going to be in a group here shortly. Here's Landis, Smith, and Latier off of turn 4.
Latier right on the heels of Steve Smith Sr. now as they head through turns 1 and 2. Landis about 7 car lengths out in front.
Joey Allen also starting to advance now in the number 7C. He's closing on Jerry Stone. Paul Latier looking for an opening behind Steve Smith, but it's been single file around the Speedway so far.
So far, nobody's been able to put any distance on Bobby Landis, but he's coming up on lap traffic now. We'll pick up on Landis as he heads down the backstretch. He'll be looking at Rod Ort.
That could tell the story in this one. Bob Landis will now deal with the back of the pack. And Paul Latier again charges right up behind Steve Smith. Landis and Latier down the front stretch.
Bobby Landis now encountering his first lap car down in turns 1 and 2. It looks like he's going to get by easily, Ken, as they come off turn 2 and head down the backstretch.
Well, he's going to clear Rod Ort, but Ort is racing him into turn 3. Now Ort drops back, and Landis gets the car between him, but Smith and Latier do the same, so your leaders are 1, 2, 3 off of turn 4.
Landis lost a little bit of ground in that lap traffic as he begins to look at the back of the field now. Ray Schweinhart will be his next victim.
Well, now Landis cannot be cautious working his way through this traffic. He's got 2 cars breathing down his nose tail. Into turn 3, here comes Latier. Latier to the inside, he's now second. Paul Latier, but he loses the spot right back.
Latier had to get on the brake pedal. Landis continues to lead. Steve Smith Sr. More lap traffic in front of your leaders. Smith Sr. to the inside of Landis now.
What a tremendous race. And we're going to have a 6-7 car race in a few minutes here because we're going non-stop and the pack is starting to bunch up. Landis now looks at the outside and Steve Smith looks inside off of turn 4. Smith goes too high. We're at halfway and it's still Bob Landis.
Landis has to get to the inside of the Speedway or he's going to lose.
Across the cushion. Landis up across the cushion, but he saved it.
He charges hard off that second turn and hangs on to the lead. He's going to have to try and drive a defensive race now, Ken, rather than an aggressive one.
Landis brings him off to turn 4 once again with Smith right behind him. Latier, Esch, Smith, Stone, and Allen, they're all right there, 7 of them as they go into turn 1.
Some of the best racing we've seen so far this season. Let's see what happens as they head into turn number 3. Landis looking at the back of the number 18D of Tim Dietz now. Steve Smith Sr. right in the shadows of Bobby Landis as they come off turn 4.
And they all move to that same outside line as Joey Allen now advances 1 spot. Joey Allen, and he's going after a couple more. Here comes Steve Smith as Landis again is up and over the cushion.
Landis that time slipped a little bit too high. He almost did it earlier, Ken. He lost 2 positions now. Steve Smith Sr., your leader. Paul Latier runs second. Look at that battle for 5th.
I think Joey Allen's going to win it, John, if they don't get away from him. Allen is already 4th, and he's going after Bob Landis. He's just got that 7C working perfect on the bottom right now. He's going by Landis and coming after Latier.
Like I said earlier, Landis has to get that car to the inside of the Speedway. He's drifting too high in the corners. Now Stevie Smith challenges him.
And he carries him out of the groove, and he'll lose another spot as Stevie Smith goes by. Well, right now it's Steve Smith Sr. with the lead. Paul Latier runs second. Joey Allen is 3rd as they start to now spread it out a little bit. Smith getting some daylight on Latier and Joey Allen.
Off turn number 4, here comes your leader, the number 119 of Steve Smith. Paul Latier runs second. Joey Allen 3rd. Stevie Smith 4th. And Bobby Landis 5th.
Joey Allen still trying to move up through this pack in car number 7C. He's now running 3rd right behind Paul Latier. Steve Smith with a lap car in between himself and Latier. Here comes Joey up the inside.
Allen moves up on Paul Latier but hangs on. Latier now tries to get by the lap car of Ray Schweinhart.
We're going to get the 5-lap sign the next time around the Speedway. And there's Joey again looking inside of Latier, but he can't get around. He'll settle for that 3rd spot as they race down the backstretch. And now Stevie Smith has also caught Joey Allen in traffic.
Joey Allen just scraping the inside walls. They come off turn number 4, trying to get by Paul Latier, but Latier hangs on.
And it looks like the father right now is pulling away just a little bit as Latier, Joey Allen, and Stevie Smith race through the traffic. Steve Smith Sr. is opening up a big lead as they race to turn 3.
Joey Allen now with a big move on Paul Latier as he gets by up in turn number 4, but he gets in behind the lock car, Race Weinar. Here comes Paul Latier back.
Joey Allen has it, though, as they race to turn 1, and he's still got enough time to catch Steve Smith Sr. as they now head down the backstretch. Smith still with a couple of lap cars to deal with.
Joey Allen is really on the move here, but can he catch Steve Smith Sr. in time? We'll have to wait and see off turn number 4. They're coming down now to complete lap number 22.
It'll be 2 to go the next time by, and it's Steve Smith and now Joey Allen trying to inch just a little bit closer in that Carnival 7C, but I don't think he's going to have enough time, John. We're going to look at the 2 to go sign, this time on Steve Smith Sr.
Well, Steve Smith Sr. has to get by Darrell Gone in the number 1 car, and then he's got clear track in front of him. The only way that Joey Allen has a chance is if Darrell Gone is able to hold him up.
Right now down here in turn 1 as he slides inside of Steve Smith, but he couldn't get by. And we got a caution on the Speedway.
Oh, what a good break, though, for Joey Allen. It'll give him a last chance.
Excuse me, John, right in the middle of the backstretch, Kenny Adams, number 88, sitting in the wrong direction. Not sure exactly how he got in that position back there, but Kenny Adams facing the wrong direction just off turn 2.
Well, I can bet you not many race fans saw Kenny Adams spin out, because you can bet that everybody had their eye on Joey Allen as he went to the inside of Steve Smith Sr. We'll be back for the exciting conclusion. We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for the final dash to the checkered flag here. 1 lap to go. Steve Smith Sr. on the point of this field, but keep your eyes on Joey Allen. He had a hold of Steve Smith Sr. when we went yellow. Let's see what happens as they pick up the pace off turn 4.
Smith and Allen come charging down the front stretch. Smith right to center. Here comes Joey again. He goes to the inside, slides up in front, and he gets the lead.
That's the way it's done, Ken. Get that tail end of that car up in front of the...
And we got a caution. I don't know. I don't believe it was a false start. Caution flag on the Speedway. I don't see any car anywhere.
Pace car coming out onto the track. Could be debris, something could have been a false start, Ken. One back in the pack. I don't know. That's kind of a reprieve for Steve Smith Sr., though.
You better believe it.
Dan Dietrich being pushed out now.
Joey Allen had him. It was over as they headed off turn 2.
See,
he cleared him.
The way it works, you can slide it in there, just like we saw last year when Kaufman dove underneath Paul Latier. And it all works out just fine as long as you don't hit the guy.
If you clear him, you're in good shape.
If you clear him and get on the brakes or whatever it takes and make him lift, that's the name of the game. I mean, sprint car racing, is it a gentleman's sport? I don't know. Questionable.
Well, we get the 1 lap. I bet Steve Smith goes low into turn 1 this time. What do you think?
He'll be protecting that inside. You can bet on that.
That's the second time now Joey's got inside of him. This time he got far enough in, although he had the 7C Airborne coming off of turn 2. But he did clear him, and he was on his way to victory.
That's the point, Ken. If you miss the guy and you get in front of him, you can almost stop your race car. And there's not much the other driver can do unless he's anticipated that move and makes the adjustment, comes out low, and gets back around again.
Well, Steve Smith's seen everything, and now he's seen the same move from Joey Allen twice, so he's going to be ready for it this time. Let's watch him through turn 3 and the green back on the Speedway.
Remember, we're working on the final lap as they come down the flag stand.
Again, here comes Joey up along the side. This time Steve Smith stays low. Joey, though, has the inside line off turn 2, and he's got the lead.
Whoa, trouble in turn 3.
Down. Car on the fence upside down. Joey Gravino and Carter 9 out of the ballpark.
Right there where you see the fire marshals heading to the fence. That was in the back of the pack, folks. So now we're going to get 2 laps to go when we return. You cannot end the race on a red and have 1 lap to go, so they'll go back a lap. That'll make it 2 to go. Joey Gravino looks like he's out of the car already. Is that Joey Gravino?
Joey Gravino coming back across the fence in the orange and black uniform. You see him there with the helmet on yet. Gravino's okay. I seen the car gone. It's didn't look like a hard roll, but he did manage to clear that wall and get out of the park.
Tough break for Gravino. We'll be back with the conclusion. We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway. We actually have 3 laps to go in this feature event. And the big question is can Joey Allen get back around Steve Smith one more time? The green flag waves, and we'll watch them as they come down the front stretch.
This time Steve Smith wins some daylight as they head down the front stretch, and he's able to open it up into turn one, but then he drifts up too high on the speedway, and here comes Joey up the inside. No problem, Joey Allen right by.
Allen with the horsepower jumps into the lead as they head into turns 3 and 4. It looks like it's going to be a Joey Allen show the rest of the way with 2 laps to go.
2 to go on Joey Allen, Steve Smith, Paul O'Tear, Stevie Smith, Bobby Landis still in the top 5. He's hanging on to 5th. He'd like to finish there, and right now he's got the 5th spot. 6th is Darren Aish, Jerry Stone, Jim Nace, Freddie Raymer, and Bobby Weaver, your top 10. We're going to get the white this time by. It'll be 1 to go.
Joey Allen has run off from Steve Smith now as they head down and into turns 1 and 2. Paul O'Tear now trying to move into that 2nd place spot.
He got along the inside of Steve Smith, but he's not going to be able to get by. Smith holds him off. It's over. Joey Allen through turn number 3 and out of turn 4. Allen's going to win it.
There's the checkered flag. Joey Allen the winner, and he sticks his right arm out the window. Steve Smith will take 2nd, Paul O'Tear 3rd, Stevie Smith 4th, Bobby Landis will finish 5th, Darren Ash 6th, Jerry Stone will take the 7th spot, 8th will go to Jim Nace, 9th will go to Fred Raymer in the 29, and 10th will go to Bobby Weaver.
Well, Joey Allen didn't lose anything at all when he was in the pit area with the 7C. He come back out and was actually much the best when he came back out. He had no problem. Just drove right. He didn't even have to bonsai it into turn 1 to get by Steve Smith. He just drove inside of him. Smith stayed right in the groove through the turn, but Joey just come underneath him and drove by him on the inside and drove away from him, and it was over.
Joey Allen, he's going to be a superstar, I have an idea, on the Central Pennsylvania Sprint Car Circuit if he doesn't go outlaw racing. You have to wonder, what Joey Allen, how he feels about it, whether he wants to go on the outlaw trail or not. He certainly could win a lot of money right here in Pennsylvania.
Well, I actually had a chance to talk to Joey yesterday at the shortstop market in Williamsgrove, and Joey told me that he's definitely going outlaw racing. In fact, next weekend, the $10,000 to win show, or not next weekend, but the following weekend, the $10,000 to win show at Williamsgrove will be his final Central Pennsylvania race until the World of Outlaws come in. After that, he's leaving to join the Outlaws.
Okay, we're going to listen in here on the post-race interview with Joey Allen and our track announcer, Bruce Ellis.
Congratulations. I needed that one. You needed that one. Joey, people say you can't pass on a daytime surface. You didn't seem to have too much trouble with that.
Well, for the last couple of days, I guess the weight being here and starting in the back and everything, it seems like it gets tougher and tougher every year. But I just said I wasn't going to hold back. I was just going to go for it.
Joey, they say the 3rd time is the charm. You had to pass Big Steve 3 times today to get this victory.
Yeah, I just, I kept saying in my head, I'm going to win this race. I got to do it. I need it.
Well, last time you needed one, I watched you count about $13,000 off when you won the National Open here last September.
Yeah, I still know that one. That was well pictured in my mind.
Joey, you told me you were going to buy a new car with that money. Did you do it?
Not really. I just like buying cars and collecting them and, fixing them up.
Joey, tell us about your new ride. I understand the car owner is Verlin Chupp. Is he here today?
No, Verlin Chupp's not here. He's in Indiana. He's out of Indiana. And he mostly runs with the All-Stars, but he's a very good car owner, and I appreciate what he's done for me.
We understand you are going to run with the All-Stars this season. Will we see you back here at Williamsgrove in the near future?
Well, I'm going to run probably big shows, All-Stars, and Outlaws. I'm just going to go where the money is.
Well, we got $5,000 at stake next week. Are you interested in that?
Yes, I am.
Going to be here next week?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, a great drive today for Joey Allen. He says he's coming back to see you next week. Let him hear it. Joey Allen.
Okay, there you have it. Joey Allen getting a lot of acclimates here in the crowd. Very popular winner. Always, of course, he's one of the Hanover gang. Joey Allen with his, I believe, his first win in the 1988 season, Ken.
First win, he had none down in Florida. He raced with the Outlaws and with the All-Stars down there, but didn't do anything like he did here this afternoon. He was really the class of the field.
That's for sure. Well, it's been a pleasure being here at the Williamsgrove Speedway. Once again, we want to thank the Tri promoters here, Nick Toro, George Wolf, and of course Bob Jones, for allowing us to come down and capture all of today's exciting action. And we also want to thank you for joining us here in the booth, Ken, for the feature in the B main.
Well, it's always a pleasure, and we look forward to being back here at the Grove. A lot of big money next Sunday.
That's for sure. It's the Early Bird Championship, and we'll be here to cover it. For the entire Strasser Motorsports video crew, I'm Johnny Strasser for Ken Stahl, and our camera person today, Patty Strasser, saying so long from the Williamsgrove Speedway.
Drinking dens are spilling out and staggering in a square. There's lads and lasses falling about in a